Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I'm Will Dragon, and this is Timberborn. You join me back in the beautiful settlement of Porsaw as the sun slowly sets over our beaver settlement, and everybody goes to take a nap after a hard day's work. We have finished this bad water partition contraption thing. I never quite know what to call it. It's not a dam. It's really not. But it is something. But yeah, so we went and built that. We're now building a little bit of an extra partition onto the side for our actual bad water capture. We are trying to drain this as best as possible. We are pumping out the bad water as fast as we possibly can, and we have plans, as you just went and saw, for the next level of bad water drainage as well, which of course, the more and more I drain it, eventually the easier and easier it should get, because it technically gets thinner and thinner. So yes, we've got a block and a half, block and a third to keep going down from there. We're trying to get rid of the bad water as fast as possible. I'm pouring it out of here. I have an extractor and a dynamite factory going. All of which I'm going to ask these guys to be prioritized so they're kept as empty as possible. All of which should help keep things going. Now, we do have a slight log and plank problem. So, we are slowly... Oh, we've made it. We have actually made it. We are over here, and we are, in fact, getting more logs over here. Now, this is going to be just kind of a bit of a storage, I reckon, if I'm honest. But we are going to strip mine all of this, and it's an emergency stockpile of wood. We also have this here, an extra 80 logs just in there. So yeah, other than that, things are going good. We've got plenty of food, and that's ticking along nicely. Our water's nice and high. Our beaver population is roughly where it should be. We might get a couple more on top of that. But everything is looking pretty much as it should do. Our water is probably not quite decontaminated. 0%! And 0%, ladies and gentlemen, the water is actually decontaminated. Would you look at that? And as you just went and saw, we are building this fun contraption underground. And so we are going to keep building that up and up and up until we have, well, it exactly where we needed to have it, basically. This is so that we can get to our mine, which if we haven't started throwing things at our mine yet. Yeah, this is also we can get at our mine and start building that up. To do that, we need a lot more planks. Because we do need, maybe even almost 200 more. Yes, 200 more gears. And we need 300 treated planks. Quite a lot. That is quite a lot. So this is the last thing they will ever build. It is on the lowest priority. And it's fine being that way because this catchment thing, I mean, we've got all this bad water to keep pumping out quite yet. So yeah, we are, we have a nice little gap appearing in our actual bad water tank. And we will keep just pumping this out as best as possible. And we will keep this going down. It looks like it's got, one block left to go according to that. Other than that, we are unfortunately just in a bit of a waiting game. There's not too much going on because until I get this built, I don't really want to start using up all of my metal blocks because, well, quite frankly, I need them. We are making more metal blocks, as we do in fact have a nice bit of scrap wood, which we can now actually get at because, well, the water's not contaminated. So, you know, we can actually get some more of our scrap here and convert those into metal blocks, which is fantastic. And then, of course, we do have this fun contraption down here, which will separate bad water and good water, and hopefully stop that future contamination problem, because, it got bad at one point. It got real bad at one point. So yeah, like I said, we're unfortunately kind of at a little bit of a waiting game, if I'm perfectly honest. So, yeah, we're just kind of slowly moving along. And, as you can see, we're building up the walls here, we're building up the walls on that side. Lots of logs are going to be being spent. And that is why we have these little catchments. These little catchments can hopefully keep feeding these, even if these keep getting used and taken down here. Because there is a lot of logs currently being used. A hell of a lot of logs. And a lot more logs left to be used. Because even, not including the levees, even, which I can't really select, but even the overhangs cost a lot. I can't quite select them, but I'm sure you just have to trust me. And of course, for a lot of you out there who play the game, you'll know that overhangs do cost a fair few logs, as well as quite a bit of metal. Which is why I definitely need to keep this converting. So we do have 4 people missing from their workspace. That would probably be builders. Yes, it would be. My builders are my lowest priority, which I'm fine with. You know, if they suddenly step away from for a second, shall we say, then the building takes a little bit longer and my materials build up a little bit more. Then I get them back and the opposite happens. You know, it's a controllable flux. But yeah, beaver numbers still looking pretty good. I could probably increase once again. I could probably go and build myself another tank, which I am very tempted to go and do. I'm going to give it probably until next cycle to see how things balance out, to see if the numbers start dropping off. And if not, I may go and put in yet one more breeding pod and get the numbers continuing to go up and all the jobs and everything continuing to be done. Like I said, like I did say, unfortunately it's a bit of a waiting game, and I can't go any faster than 3 times speed. At least not unless I start, I think, playing around with stuff in the background, which, well, I'm certainly no coder. So yes, as you can see, things are being built beautifully. Yeah, look at that. Just waiting for... And what do we need for this vertical tubeway? Oh, nothing. Someone just needs to hit it with a hammer a few times. Which will, of course, then go into the actual tubeway station, which will eventually then go into the mine. Oh, would you look at that? Apart from the corners, which we don't strictly need. Because, of course, I do need to get this all fully covered up with the water that then starts draining out so that I can actually get access to my mine. Try and turn the water back on. Always helps if you actually press the right button. So, yeah, I mean, I suppose I should really start thinking about what comes next, because all of my beavers can keep running around and, you know, doing whatever they do in the background, whilst I, in essence, just keep planning whatever comes next. I will start to prioritize this at some point soon. I'm not quite ready to go and put that down. But I will prioritize this at some point soon so I can get these 2 up and running. Because I do want to keep this draining as fast as possible. Because, well, yeah, I would like to get access to this and then start to build that tunnel all the way through here to get access to this. Oh. You had a range of everything. You may as well be paused and deleted. You guys are also doing a beautiful job around here. I think we should probably expand this one a little bit further. Absolutely beautiful work. And that'll just keep all of this being mined. I'm just going to strip mine the whole thing, basically. Gather up all of that beautiful wood. So we can keep using it for our projects. Now we are missing 3 beavers. And 3 beavers are sleeping outside, which makes no sense. Because it does actually make perfect sense, because we have 73 beavers. Not 70 beavers. I look at that and think that's my total population number. But it's not. It's a lie. And so, of course, if I am going to go and build another pod, I am going to go and need more housing. Definitely going to need more housing. Now, on that, how about... Now, I had beautiful plans for this place. I don't remember what any of those plans were, but I had beautiful beautiful plans. Now, I do know, but I can't quite remember how it looked. I do know I intended, which I can't quite place down, on putting a beautiful monument of ingenuity smack bang in the middle. Now, judging by what that quite looks like, I believe that probably would have looked something like that. And then probably would have looked something like that. And now let's probably just go and put that all as the lowest priority because I truly don't care about it at this point. And then I would have gone and stuck my beautiful monument, which is not quite letting me do, which is interesting. Because there is a hole in the middle. But that is, of course, where I would then go and put some universal power shafts. So we would go and place that. And now, all around it would, in essence, be decorations and beautification and just absolutely lovely things. Now, I'm sure these have a reason for being there. I don't know what they are, but they're also out of reach to be built, so we won't worry about it. So now the plan would have been build those there. And then we've kind of got our transit level, haven't we? So and let's also, once again, the lowest of low priorities. Thank you very much. Just to make sure people don't start trying to build them, because I don't really want them built yet. I'm just trying to plan things out whilst they beaver away in the background. And so I don't know, I do kind of again, let's go and turn all these onto the lowest priority. That brings them out of the water. And so what that would then make me want to do is, I mean, put these paths onto there like that. Put these paths onto there like that. And so, like I said, all of this, I feel like I would have to fill in these gaps. All of this, all the way around in a lovely 2-deep block thing would go and be beautification. Trees, hedges, benches, statues, you know, the works. And then around these was where the planned housing was going to be. Now, as in, they won't go on the inside. I'm just visualizing some stuff for my own. For my own sake. And how do I go and make this pretty? How do I do this? So if I was to Build that in there. Now let's actually just go and thicken it out. I don't quite know how big I would want it. Let's just go and thicken it all out. And so say if I was going to... What's it going to cost me? 600. Let's happily spend that. Say if I was to put that there. And then... I quite like the normal size barrack, if I'm honest. Say if I was to place that, then that's bad tide. That's bad tide is bad times. And again, let's just make sure they don't try and build any of this. Don't really know what I want to keep of it, if I'm perfectly honest. As you can see, this is all very experimental. How would I want this to look? I mean, how does that look in the grand scheme of things? Let's have a quick look. Little housing block going on here. You know, and obviously then we can put things on top, we can decorate. I mean, how do we feel about that? How do we feel about that compared to... Say, what if we were to instead... Just grab a 10. And then... I mean, how would we feel about that instead, do we reckon? I mean, how do we think that looks? Oh, tough choices, I mean... Maybe we remove this one altogether. And maybe... Maybe we just stick with these. A little kind of tower block thing going on. And we've got... Go to these. And don't ask me how efficient this is. 8 and 5, so 8, 16, 32. Plus, what did I just do? 32 plus 15 is 47. There you go, that'd be 47 on each corner, so to say. And then all the rest of it would be decorations. And I don't think that's a bad little corner block with a nice bit of decoration in the middle. And then we make every corner slightly different. Slightly different, so they won't technically all be, you know, big, small, small, big. Yeah, I like it. I think I can live with that. I like it. I'm giving that a plus vote. We'll only really know how it truly looks once it's built. But I like it. I'm going to go and put it all on lowest priority. because I don't really care. Should we say how fast it's built? In fact, I'm very happy to be built very much last. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. How are we looking? How are we looking? Continuing to pump, continuing to pump. Only got a smidge of water above where they can get to. Okay. Let us not build stairs. Go and connect all that into there. Because that is... Sorry, I'm leaning in so close to my microphone that I'm actually scratching it against my headset. Gonna make my life a little bit easier. Let's chop this off. There you go. That's all. There you go. Figure of 8'd. Do I need... Yes, I want to keep this one underneath here because if I end up using this as a transit hub as well to go through, I want them to stay, in essence, underground for the transit hub, you know? But like a metro station kind of a thing. Here comes all that beautiful iridescent water. Absolutely fantastic. So I should turn all these back on, but I don't want to fill up my bad water tanks. Now this will say 0% still, as will this. But that's because it takes about 4 days to get here. And then it will last for about 4 days after the bad tide has ended. It will continue to increase. We'll see what the numbers end up at. But this could also be bad times for all of these beavers. Basically, you can see just the wave coming towards them. So, yep. I feel like we might be getting some... Yep. Oh, no, it's an injured beaver. I feel like we might be getting some unwell beavers. Put it that way. You're claiming we're missing planks. I'm claiming you're lying to me. Let's go on and pause this and get a couple hundred. How have we gone and used... What are we using gears in? You don't use gears. You don't use gears. Oh, are we chucking them at this? We are chucking them in here. Oh, that's fine. That is absolutely fine. The only thing we will need is treated planks, which, do you know what? Let's go ahead and turn you on as well. Couple of injured beavers. Like I said, we're probably going to get some unwell beavers as well with this. Just look at it. Look at it slowly coming in. The line of the bad tide. Ooh. You have been... finished up. And let's get you guys prioritized as well, because then we can keep the bad water being pumped. You can be deleted. You can be deleted. Alright, so hey, we've made a nice bit of progress. And we shall keep pumping away. How are we doing in terms of... Ooh, we've got a little bit more demand than we have supply. Let's be honest, this can be paused. There's 2 workers back, because we have full extract. There's no point in trying to use any more of it. Look how irradiated it gets. It gets so irradiated so easily. I must... Yes, 1 unwell beaver. Contamination has hit 2% up here. And 2% down here. Let's go and start the cleanup operation. Let us go, and I am going to go and demolish that path, so that in essence cuts this off, and they can go and build everything else. Because I have 2 unwell beavers, and I'd rather not have more. Yes, come and build these, come and finish this. And yeah, we'll just go from there, really. Well, then you may as well not be there. You can actually not be there because you've taken so long to build. We're going to push you in even further. And then... Oh, no, you guys are still going strong. You keep it up. You keep it up. Let's go and pause you. Let's keep you out of the water. Whilst this wonderful bit of contamination comes across. What are we up to? 4%. This one, of course, gets higher because I'm taking out good water. Just look at it. The Red Seas have arrived. And oh, do they wreak havoc. Do they wreak havoc. Just a little bit devastating, really. What I woulda, coulda, shoulda. What I could do, and probably should do, is block this off. Because that, in essence, stops any water from coming into here, and it'll take a very, very, very long time to go down. But I may as well start it evaporating now. Because it needs to be drained, quite frankly. It needs to be emptied out and drained, because it's, oh, it's a bad water. It's actually not looking too bad, to be honest. Usually it's really, really polluted. Maybe I'm just believing everywhere else is looking so much worse. So this is only up to 6%, but like I said, it will continue for about 4 days after the bad tide. That's how long this takes, in essence, to change what it's doing. And so what I need to do is... I need to, in essence, build that. For me to go and do that. I need to, in essence, go and build this, and that will then become a straight line through to here. And it will happen eventually. And this will finally start draining, and it's going to take many, many moons for it to actually drain. But it will drain. Aha! We are down pumping in here now as well. Let's go and prioritize these 2 buildings to keep them empty. And that should help this going down. And obviously it naturally evaporates anyway, so we do have that on our side. But with things like this happening, it will very much increase the speed at which it decreases. And so how are we doing as well in terms of this mine? Did we get it? We did get it. So we still need 300 treated planks. So we'll watch those numbers slowly go up. We need 270 gears. So we've got another 170 of those to go. And 130 logs. So a fair bit of resources needed all around. And what's that? The end of day 2? How bad are we looking? 12%. It goes up so much. And this was off like 1 6-day bad tide? Maybe 7? Maybe I read it at 6 point something when I first saw it. But 1 bad tide. 1 mediocre bad tide. I mean, it's not even a long bad tide. I mean, they can, if you're playing on hardcore, they can last 20 to 30 days. Easy. And look how much it goes up. And this will take me cycles upon cycles upon cycles to clean up. And then I lose all of my irrigated land. Oh! Oh! You need filling. Somebody get some water in this hole. Somebody get some water in this hole, please. Hey, it is. There you go. It's working. We have green. A little bit of green. People missing jobs. That'll be my builders. Again, all fine. Longer they take, that's just fine by me. And when we get to one level short, basically, we'll be able to start. We can redesign this to allow some of the bad water to come out. So that we've always got a source of bad water. Sorry, I paused there for a second in my head. And so yes, what have we? So day 4, this is 17%, 21%. This is, it might go up by another percent or two, but this is roughly what we're going to end up with. So 1 6 to 7 day bad tide, 20% contamination. I mean, imagine if I was on hardcore with 30 days of bad tide. I mean, it doesn't bear thinking about. I'd be pushing like 60% contamination just from one bad tide. Considering the fact that I had 5 in a row earlier. Well, no, sorry, 5 and 6. It would be absolutely devastating, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely devastating. Well, there's stage 1 of housing reproject. That's, like I said, that's 45. So, you know, I can get rid of definitely this extra one. And a couple of these. I think... So my water is... Well, no, my water's going to drop down a little bit now because of the fact that technically they're on 77% efficiency because of all of this contaminated water. So I'm not actually going to go and push my beaver population any further. Because we do, in fact... We do, in fact, have slightly harder times ahead of us whilst we attempt to clean this up. Oh, I can't believe it. This is now going to be pushed back so much. So much because of what's going on. And more to the point, I need a lot, and I mean a lot, of metal to get this done. Hang on, one more. Let's see if we can't. 12 more. Oh no, not as much as I thought. I thought it was actually much higher. 12, 24, 60. I need 60 more metal. Plus the bits on top, about 80 metal reserve. Just to make sure I can finish this. I've got 192. So I do need to make sure I'm careful with what I build. But looking at it, I don't think I've got too much that requires metal to get done. So I should be okay. Because, I mean, I'm not getting down into this just yet. We do have these, but, I mean, at 6 apiece, they're all fine. Okay, yeah, no, so I should actually be safe, even with the amount I've got. And I'm still going to be making another 85 more with the current amount of scrap metal I've got as well. We have 1 contaminated beaver. Good old Nyamro. He's almost cured, though. There he goes. Nyamro is back to being a contributing member of society. And so on that, ladies and gentlemen, with the red tide having come in and just straight up crippled us, it is definitely a phenomenon that we do need to get all fixed up and sorted, which we are working on. We are still pumping away We are almost another block down. Only another 5, 6, 7 to go. But like I said, it does get a smidge easier the further down we go. Because like I said, it does get thinner and thinner and thinner. So yes, we shall keep pumping away to our beavers' content. And hopefully we get a couple of droughts in a row. So hopefully this can clean up. And this can clean up. And we can start 23. 27. Such painful, painful numbers. Yeah, just the word ouch. The words ouch come to mind. I am going to, as the final piece of the episode, and a bit of further future planning, let's go and build 2 more containers for bad water. Far more than we need, and far more bad water than I really want at this stage, if I'm perfectly honest, but we need to be able to keep pumping all of this bad water out. I have lost almost all of my builders due to the fact they are now all pumping bad water. So construction will slow down, most definitely. But we will, ever so slowly, get there. That's just highly annoying. A tiny, tiny tree stump blocks my path. And if we also just quickly double check, yes, everything is marked for cutting. And then on this side, now between the 3 of them, they can get everything. Go and pause those 2. Oh, only 3 beavers missing from jobs now. And so there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is, as I said, all we have time for. We're on cleanup mode once more, and we'll see what we can do about getting this water purified. But until next time, as per always, I do hope you are enjoying the episode. I know they are a bit slow, and I do apologize for that, but we are just trying to get things going, and unfortunately, we are still at the mercy of the map. And so until we see you again, as per always, I do truly hope that you can stay safe, happy, and healthy.